Okay, so once again, very good morning all. So in the yesterday the lecture we have started with some introduction part, but in the yesterday's lecture due to some technical problems and due to some network issues, sometimes you are unable to listen me. So in the today's lecture once again we will take some introduction part, and also some new students are also joined in the today's lecture. So I can repeat some of the introductory part of our subject, and then we will go for our actual syllabus. Okay, so in this semester you are dealing with this particular subject. The name of the subject is the mechanics of material. The subject is also called as a strength of material. In short, we can call it as a SOM, or it is also called as a MOM. Also, one more name is there for this particular subject, that is analysis of mechanical element. So you can see here analysis of mechanical element, and the meaning of this, in short, in the yesterday's lecture I have told you. So if you look at to this particular subject, or if you take the common name, that is strength of the material. So what is meant by the material? So the material can be identified in the number of factors. So in our mechanical field, the material will be considered as a mechanical component. Please listen, the material can be considered as a mechanical component, or some another materials are there, because there are number of particles are there, and that number of particles are combined together, and from that one material is to be formed, and that material we can use for the different types of application. For example, steel is there, cast iron is there, gray cast iron is there. So these are the number of materials which are used in the number of applications. Okay, so how it is to be manufactured, how that materials are prepared. So there is some standard process are there, there is some standard materials are there, some standard particles are there. All the number of particles are combined together, and from that one material is to be manufactured. And as per the requirement of applications, as per the requirement of application, the materials are used in the number of applications. If you take the example of our two-wheeler vehicles, so in that so many materials are there. Some part is made by the steel, some part is made by the cast iron, some part is made by the aluminum, then some part is made by the fibers, some part is made by the plastic, in some part is made by the glass. So these are the number of materials which are combined together, and by using that number of materials one product is manufactured, and that is the example of our two-wheeler vehicles, or we can take the example of the four-wheeler vehicles. But before using all those materials in any type of applications, initially it is necessary to perform the testing. Please listen. For example, if I have to apply, or if I have to use one engine in two-wheelers or the four-wheelers, so without testing of that engine, it is not used in actual applications. So initially number of tests are conducted on that engine or any type of components, and if that engine or if that material will give the feasible results or results as per our requirement, then and then only that material we can use for further applications. If that material will not give the feasible results, it will get break immediately. So it is not possible to use that material in actual applications, because that material is not satisfying our condition. For example, suppose one material is there, and my requirement is that that material or that body has to sustain the load up to 50 kilonewton. बघा एक मटेरियल आहे आणि माझी रिक्वायरमेंट काय, तर त्या मटेरियलने किंवा त्या बॉडीनं 50 किलो न्यूटनचा फोर्स काय केला पाहिजे, सस्टेन केला पाहिजे. So what I will do, I will apply the 10 kilonewton, then 20 kilonewton, then 30 kilonewton, then 40, and then 50. If that body or that material sustain the 50 kilonewton load without any deformation, म्हणजे 50 kilonewtonचा लोड अप्लाय केल्यानंतर जर त्या बॉडीचं कुठल्याच प्रकारचं डिफॉर्मेशन होत नसेल, then what I can say that body can sustain the load of 50 kilonewton. That means it is satisfying my condition, means I can use that material for further application. But another situation, again I am applying the load 10 kilonewton, 20, 30. For 40 kilonewton load, what happen if same body will get break? My requirement is that I have to apply the load of 50 kilonewton, but for 40 kilonewton only the material or that body will get break. That means that body or that material is not satisfying my condition. My requirement is that body has to sustain the 50 kilonewton load, but for 40 kilonewton only the breaking is taking place, deformation is taking place. So that body is not satisfying my condition, means that particular material or body I cannot use for any type of application because it is not satisfying my condition. Means what we have done, we have checked the strength of that particular body, we have checked the strength of that particular material, whether it is satisfying our condition or not. And that particular concept we have to study in this particular subject, that is strength of material. So these are the conditions we have to study in this our subject, that is strength of material. So what is meant by the strength? Strength is the ability of material to resist the external forces. Simple definition of strength I will tell. Strength is the ability of material to resist external forces. Please mute yourself. Some students are there on unmute mode. Please mute yourself. What is the definition of strength? The strength is the ability of material to resist the external force without deformation. म्हणजे एखादी बॉडी अशी आहे, त्या बॉडीची स्ट्रेंथ आपण मॅक्सिमम आहे असं कधी म्हणू शकतो, जर त्या बॉडीनं त्या बॉडीवर अप्लाय केलेला फोर्स जर विथस्टँड केला किंवा कॅरी आउट केला, पण तो कॅरी आउट करताना जर त्या बॉडीचं डिफॉर्मेशन झालं नाही, तर आपण म्हणू शकतो की that body is having the maximum strength. But sometimes even applying some amount of load, immediately deformation of body is taking place. If immediate deformation is taking place, immediately I can say that the strength of that particular material is very less. So we are checking the strength of the material, means what exactly we are calculating. That is also very important to understand. The name itself suggests that strength of material, but what exactly we are going to check? So we are calculating the stress value, we are calculating the strain, deformation, bending stress, shear stress, bending moment, slope, deflection. Calculation of this number of parameter means we are checking the strength of material. So this particular chapter, or sorry, this particular subject is very important as far as your industry point of view, because in industry, in every day so many components are manufactured, but without testing that component it is not possible to use in any type of application. For each and every component, testing is to be carried out, and if that manufactured product will give the required result, good result, then only we can use that component in particular application. So for that purpose, the testing part is very important in the industry, and that testing we are going to study in this particular strength of material. But now, as per our university syllabus, we are having the name of this particular subject as a mechanics of material. We are having the name of this particular subject as the mechanics of material. So the meaning is same, mechanics of material. So here also the material word is there, and here also the material word is there. So material means it is one substance, it is one component, it is one body on which we have to perform the number of testing. If material is not available, if body is not available, if components are not available, then how it is possible to perform the testing? Jar materials available nasil, एखादी bodies available nasil, components available nasil, तर आपण टेस्ट कंडक्ट करू शकतो का? नाही. So for that purpose, this material also plays very important role in this particular subject. So here the strength of material means checking the number of parameters, which is called as a stress, strain, deformation, elongation, shear force, bending stresses, shear stresses, slope, deflection. So many parameters are there. We are calculating this number of parameters, means we are checking the strength of material. Again, the third name is also there, analysis of mechanical elements. Mechanical elements, it is having very mechanical elements. It is having very large amount of explanation. So many mechanical elements are there. For example, again, I will take the example of our machine. In the lathe machine, if you take the example of lathe machine, so many components are there. That chuck is there, tool post is there, gears is there, then pulley is there, shaft is there. So many components are combined together, and from that one machine is formed. If you take the example of lathe, in that lathe, number of components are there. All those components are combined together, and from that one machine is prepared. But whenever we have to use that tool post on the machine, whenever we have to use gear on the machine, whenever we have to use the shaft on the machine, whenever we have to use the pulley on the machine, the testing will be carried out, and then only it will get fitted on that particular machine. Means analysis of mechanical elements, it is also correlated with the checking the strength of the material. And in the yesterday's lecture, just we are having the little bit introduction of our syllabus. So total 8 chapters are there, and that in that particular 8 chapters, we have to study the so many concepts. So in the chapter number 1, simple stress and strain is there. In the chapter number 2, the strain energy is there. Then in the chapter number 3, the principal stress and strains are there. So there are number of chapters are there, and in that particular number of chapters, we are studying the different concepts. So that part we have to study in this particular subject as a strength of material, but now it is called as a mechanics of material. So once we will start our actual syllabus, then you will easily understand that in which chapter, which exactly we are going to study and which parameters we are exactly calculating. Okay, so this is the little bit introduction of the strength of the material. So this is the teaching and examination scheme we have discussed in the yesterday's lecture, but now due to this COVID, your exam will be conducted online. Okay, again you are having the two tests, ISC1 and ISC2. We can call it as a unit test number 1 and unit test number 2. So for that you are having the 30 marks, and again you are having the 25 marks as a ICA. ICA means internal continuous assessment. We can call it as a term work. So this 25 marks and this 30 marks are in your hand. These 25 marks are given based on your attendance, based on your submission part. Okay, and this is the end semester examination, actually 70 marks, but your online examination will be conducted from the university side, and based on that, this 70 marks will be given. Okay, so this is the actually teaching and examination scheme. This is the actual syllabus. In the yesterday's lecture also we have discussed, and we are having the little bit introduction based on the each and every chapter. So chapter number 1, it is very simple and very basic chapter. Without understanding the chapter number 1, the basic concepts of the stresses and the strain, it is very difficult to understand the remaining all the 7 chapters. So whatever the basic concepts are there related to the strength of material or related to the mechanics of material, all the basic concept, all the basic definitions, all the basic formulas, standard procedure, we are going to study in this particular chapter number 1, that is simple stress and the strain. And based on this, remaining 7 chapters are there. So chapter number 2 is there, the strain energy. Chapter number 3, principal stresses and the strains, and chapter number 4, the torsion of the circular shaft. So these are the total 4 chapters in the section number 1, and in the section number 2, again the 4 chapters are there. But if you look at the chapter number 5, 6, 7, and 8, all the 4 chapters are correlated with only one component, which is called as a beam. You can see here. What is the chapter number 5? Shear force and bending moment diagram for the beam. Chapter number 6, again bending stresses in the beam. Chapter number 7, shear stresses in the beam, and chapter number 8, slope and deflection of the beam. That means all the 4 chapters are correlated with the beam structure only. And here we have to check the strength of the beam. Means we have to calculate the shear force induced in the beam. We have to calculate the bending moment induced in the beam. We have to calculate the bending stresses in the beam. We have to calculate the shear stresses in the beam. Also, we have to check their slope and deflection value. We are calculating this number of parameters in the beam structure, means here we are checking the strength of that particular beam structure. That's why this particular part is also added in your syllabus as a strength of material, or checking the strength of material, or it's called as a mechanics of the material. Because beam is very important structure in our home. Beam is there, column is there, and that beam is subjected to the number of loads simultaneously. एकाच वेळी बीमवर काय झाला असतो, नंबर ऑफ लोड ऍड झालेला असतात. मग त्या जर बीमची जर आपल्याला स्ट्रेंथ चेक करायची असेल, तर मग बीमची स्ट्रेंथ चेक करण्यासाठी आपल्याला कुठले पॅरामीटर काढावे लागतात, तर त्याच्यामधला बेसिक पॅरामीटर म्हणजे तुमचा शियर फोर्स. ज्यावेळेस आपण बीमचा शियर फोर्स आणि बेंडिंग मोमेंट काढतो, and that values we are converting in the form of diagram. आलेले शियर फोर्स व्हॅल्यू आणि बेंडिंग मोमेंट व्हॅल्यू आपण एका डायग्रामच्या फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट करतो. त्यालाच आपण काय म्हणतो, एसएफडी अँड पीएमडी, म्हणजेच शियर फोर्स डायग्राम अँड बेंडिंग मोमेंट डायग्राम. अँड by taking the reference of that particular SFD and BMD, easily we can identify that where is the critical points in the beam. जर बीमचे आपल्याला क्रिटिकल पॉइंट काढायचे असतील, कुठं बीम तुमचा ब्रेक होणार आहे, कुठं शिअर फोर्स मॅक्सिमम असणार आहे, कुठं बेंडिंग मोमेंट मॅक्सिमम असणार आहे, ह्या जर व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला काढायच्या असतील तर त्यासाठी आपल्याला एसएफडी आणि बीएमडी ह्या डायग्रामचा आपल्याला काय करता येतो, त्या ठिकाणी वापर करता येतो. And if we are calculating that SFD and BMD, means we are checking the strength of that particular beam. In addition to that, in the beam structure, we can calculate the bending stresses also, we can calculate shear stresses also, as well as we can calculate the slope and deflection value also. So all these particular 4 chapters are correlated with only one element, which is called as a beam structure. So this is the overall syllabus. So total 8 chapters we have to. So total 8 chapters we have to study in this particular subject. In the first section, the 4 chapters are there, and in the second section, 4 chapters are there. So one by one, initially we will start with the unit number 1 only, that is simple stress and the strain. We will cover all the basic definition, we will cover all the basic concepts from the chapter number 1, and then we will move to the next syllabus. Okay, so this is the overall introduction of the syllabus which we have to cover in this particular semester number 1. Now, before starting our syllabus of mechanics of material, initially just we have to make the comparative study between applied mechanics and the strength of material. So here applied mechanics and MOM, mechanics of material. So in applied mechanics we can call it as a AM, for mechanics material we can call it as a MOM. So what is meant by the applied mechanics? Because in your first year diploma engineering you are having this particular subject, correct? Anyone please reply whether you are having this particular subject in your first year diploma, applied mechanics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct. So what exactly you have to study in applied mechanics, or what is the difference between applied mechanics and the mechanics of material, or we can call it as a strength of material. In applied mechanics also we are calculating the stresses value, strain value, deformation value. In SOM also we are calculating the stress value, deformation value. But what is the basic difference in applied mechanics and the mechanics of material? Now here, as we are dealing with mechanics of material, so instead of using the word SOM, I can use the word as a MOM, because we are dealing with this particular subject, mechanics of material, MOM. Now, if you look at to the word of the mechanics, very basic word. What is meant by the mechanics? What is meant by the mechanics? So here I have written the definition. Mechanics is the branch of science which deals with study of motion, energy, forces, and their effect on the body. Very simple definition is there. Mechanics is the branch of science which deals with motion, energy, forces. So motion, what is meant by the motion? If any component it is in working condition, if any component it is in working condition. For example, if you take the example of machine, if machine is in off position, not a single component it is in moving condition, or not a single component it is in running condition. But once the machine is started, then whatever the movable parts are there in that particular machine, all the parts are start moving. If you take the example of gear, if machine is in off position, gear is stationary. But if the machine is in on not only gear, any component, if it is start rotating, if it is start moving, at that time some amount of stresses, some amount of forces, some amount of deformation values that will be induced in that particular rotating element, and that values we have to calculate. Means we are checking the effect of motion on that particular body. If gear is stationary, it is not possible to go for the calculation, because gear is stationary condition, it is not in motion. But if gear is start rotating, at that time that rotation itself affects on that particular gear, and their effects we have to calculate. Means This is the meaning of the mechanics. Again, energy. What is meant by the energy? So yesterday I have given the example of spring. If I will apply the force on the spring is compressed. If I will apply, you can take the example of spring, which is used in our writing pen. Small spring is there. If I will apply the force, the spring will get compressed. Means what exactly happened there? So some amount of energy is stored in that particular spring. But if I will release the force immediately, again that spring come to its original position. म्हणजे फोर्स अप्लाय केल्यानंतर ती स्प्रिंग काय होते, कॉम्प्रेस होते. कॉम्प्रेस झाली म्हणजे काय झाली, त्या स्प्रिंग मध्ये काही अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी त्याच्यामध्ये काय झाली, स्टोर झाली. ज्यावेळी मी त्या स्प्रिंग वरचा फोर्स रिलीज करणार त्यावेळेस काय होणार, ती स्प्रिंग त्याच्या ओरिजिनल पोझिशनला येणार. मीन्स whatever the amount of energy is stored in that particular spring, it will get released. That's why spring come to its original position. जर त्या स्प्रिंग मध्ये एनर्जी स्टोर झाली नसती तर ती स्प्रिंग कॉम्प्रेस पण झाली नसती आणि ती त्याच्या ओरिजिनल पोझिशन पासून शिफ्ट पण झाली नसती. So that's why if I am applying some amount of force in any type of components, in any type of machines, or in any types of structure, some amount of energy stored in that, means we are checking the effect of energy on that particular body. So that's why for the motion purpose I have given the example of gear. For the energy purpose I have given the example of spring. And now force. Now force. For that purpose, here let us see. This is one body. Okay, and this body is subjected to the P amount of force from the left side and P amount of force from right side. So this is one body is there, and on that particular body this P amount of force is applied at the left side and the right side. So what happened, due to this particular P amount of force, the deformation of body is taking place like this. So the deformation I can indicate here by the dotted lines. So why this deformation is taking place? Because the P amount of force is applied. If this P amount of force I will not apply, such types of deformation which is indicated by the dotted line, such type of deformation will not be taking place. अशा प्रकारचं डिफॉर्मेशन त्या बॉडी मध्ये होणारच नाही. का तर मी हा P फोर्स अप्लाय केलेला नसेल. But here what is condition? I have applied this P amount. That P value I will consider as a 10 kilonewton. Let us see. This P value I will consider as a 10 kilonewton. If this 10 kilonewton force I am applying on this particular body, deformation is taking place, and this deformation is indicated by the dotted lines. Means this P amount of force will create the effect on this particular body. And this concept we have to study in the part of the mechanics, or this concept represents the basic definition of the mechanics. Simple definition. Mechanics is the branch of science which deals with study of motion. If any body it is in motion, त्या मोशनचा त्या बॉडीवर काहीतरी इफेक्ट होतो. Sometimes I am applying some amount of force on the body. त्या बॉडीवर फोर्स अप्लाय केल्यामुळे त्या बॉडीमध्ये काहीतरी एनर्जी स्टोर होते, म्हणजेच त्या एनर्जीचा त्या बॉडीवर काहीतरी इफेक्ट होणार आहे. सिमिलरली समटाइम्स आय एम अप्लाइंग सम अमाउंट ऑफ फोर्स ऑन बॉडी. त्या फोर्सचा पण त्या बॉडीवर तर काहीतरी इफेक्ट होणार आहे, म्हणजे त्या बॉडीचं काहीतरी डिफॉर्मेशन होणार. आणि ह्या सगळ्याचा स्टडी करणं म्हणजेच दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द मेकॅनिक्स. कुठली पण बॉडी असू द्या. इफ आय एम ड्रायव्हिंग द व्हेकल, वी आर रोटेटिंग दॅट पर्टिक्युलर स्टीअरिंग व्हील. जर आपण स्टीअरिंग व्हीलच रोटेट केलं नाही, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू टर्न द व्हेकल. पण ते स्टीअरिंग व्हील रोटेट करताना त्या ऍक्सेलवर त्या स्टीअरिंग व्हीलचा काहीतरी इफेक्ट होतो. ते आपण फोर्सेस काय तर कॅल्क्युलेट केलेले असते. मग ह्या सगळ्याचा स्टडी करणं म्हणजेच वी कॅन से द डेफिनेशन ऑफ द मेकॅनिक्स. सो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ मेकॅनिक्स. नाउ मटेरियल, just now I have told material, it is the matter from which something can be made and it is used for the analysis. Number of particles are combined together and from that one material is formed, and that material is used for the analysis. Okay, स्प्रिंगच नसेल तर आपण त्या स्प्रिंग मध्ये किती एनर्जी स्टोर केली हे आपण काढू शकणार नाही. जर बॉडीच नसेल तर त्या बॉडीवर आपण फोर्स अप्लाय करू शकत नाही. हवेमध्ये फोर्स आपल्याला अप्लाय करता येत नाही. गिअरच नसेल मशीन मध्ये, it is not possible to go for the movement, or it is not possible to go for the motion. So material is very, very important, and that material will be considered as a part of the analysis. So many components are there. That component is also one of the part of material. वेगवेगळे components असतात. Some components are made by plastic, some components are made by fiber, some components are made by the cast iron, some components are made by the stainless steel, some components are made by the gray cast iron. So number of materials are there. That number of materials are used in some of the application as per the requirement. In some applications we are using the fibers only, in some applications we are using the cast iron only, but before using it in particular application, their testing should be carried out, and that material will be considered as a component. So this is the basic definitions of the mechanics world and the material world, because this mechanics world is available in applied mechanics also, and the mechanics world is available in our mechanics of material or the SOM also. So this is the basic definition, and this mechanics definition is applicable for the strength of material. It is applicable for the applied mechanics also. Now we'll look at to the definition of the strength of material. Oblique I will write here. Oblique I will write MOM, because whatever definition I am explaining for the strength of material, the same definition will be applicable for the mechanics of material. See, strength. Now already we have discussed the definition of material in the applied mechanics or in the mechanics of material. Now we have to discuss the definition of strength. So what is meant by the strength? I have written here: resistance to the deformation or resistance to applied load without any deformation. Understand the first definition only. Resistance to deformation means what exactly happening there? When I can say that the strength of material is high, when I can say that the strength of material is low. For example, high and low. These two words are very important to understand the basic definition of strength. So resistance to deformation. If I am applying some amount of force on any body, immediately deformation is taking place. If I am applying some amount of, that amount I will also tell 10 kilonewton. Okay, if I am applying 10 kilonewton force on any body, immediately deformation is taking place. I can say that the strength of that particular material is low immediately. But again, if I am applying 10 kilonewton force on any body, and for that 10 kilonewton 0.1 deformation should not be taking place. कुठल्याच प्रकारचं डिफॉर्मेशन, जे काय डिफॉर्मेशन होणार आहे ते 0 असणार आहे 10 kilonewton ला. Means I can say that the strength of that particular material is high. म्हणजे कंडिशन एकच आहे, बॉडी एकच आहे, फोर्स पण एकच आहे, फक्त आपण त्याच्यानुसार फक्त त्याच्यामध्ये दोन सेग्रिगेशन केलं. जर तुमची बॉडी एकच बॉडी 10 kilonewton ला जर ब्रेक होत असेल, डिफॉर्म होत असेल, तर लगेच आपण तिथं म्हणतो की त्या बॉडीची स्ट्रेंथ ही कमी आहे. पण तोच 10 kilonewton फोर्स जर तो बॉडीने सस्टेन केला, त्या 10 kilonewton ला कुठलंच डिफॉर्मेशन झालं नाही, झिरो डिफॉर्मेशन झालं असेल, तर लगेच आपण तिथे म्हणू शकतो की स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर मटेरियल इज व्हेरी व्हेरी हाय. Means the definition indicates that resistance to deformation, strength represents the resistance deformation. Means if we are applying number of forces on body but there is no deformation, means we can say that the strength of material is very very high. Or another definition, resistance to applied force or applied load. Resistance to applied load. Now again, if I am applying some amount of force on body, deformation is not taking place, means resistance to the applied load. अप्लाय केलेल्या लोड मुळे जर त्या बॉडीचं डिफॉर्मेशन होत नसेल, then also we can say that the strength of that particular material is also very high, because deformation and applied forces are directly proportional to each other. See, applied force P, deformation I can indicate delta L. Okay, applied force is indicated by P, deformation is indicated by delta L, and both are directly proportional to each other, because when force is increases, deformation is also increases. When force is decreases, then deformation is also decreases. Therefore, force value and deformation value are directly proportional to each other. Means if force is increases, deformation of body is also increases. If force is decreases, deformation of body is also decreases. Therefore, the strength definition is made in the two different concepts. One definition is the resistance to the deformation. Another definition is the resistance to the applied force. जर त्या बॉडीनं अप्लाय केलेला फोर्स जर सस्टेन केला, जर त्या बॉडीनं तो अप्लाय केलेला फोर्स जर सस्टेन केला, तरी पण आपण म्हणू शकतो की स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ बॉडी इज व्हेरी हाय. अप्लाय केलेल्या फोर्समुळे जर त्या बॉडीचं डिफॉर्मेशन होत नसेल, तरी पण आपण म्हणू शकतो की स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ बॉडी इज व्हेरी व्हेरी हाय. डिफॉर्मेशन विल नॉट टेकिंग प्लेस, स्टील वी आर अप्लाइंग द लोड. जर बॉडीवर लोडच अप्लाय केला नाही, डिफॉर्मेशन होणार आहे का? नाही. That's why the applied force and deformation both are directly proportional to each other. And once again, I am telling the simple definition of strength. Strength means resistance to the deformation or resistance to the applied force. Resistance to the deformation or resistance to the applied force. This is the basic and very simple definition of the strength. And that's why I have given the simple example. One body, that body has to sustain the load of 50 kilonewton. जर तो 50 kilonewton लोड त्या बॉडीने सस्टेन केला, तर आपण म्हणू शकतो की त्या बॉडीची स्ट्रेंथ ही हाय आहे. जर त्या 50 kilonewtonला बॉडीचं डिफॉर्मेशन झालंच नाही, तरी पण आपण म्हणू शकतो की त्या बॉडीची स्ट्रेंथ ही हाय आहे. बट we have to apply the 50 kilonewton force, but deformation is taking place at 40 kilonewton only. म्हणजे 50 किलोन्यूटन लोड हा सस्टेन झालाच नाही, 40 किलोन्यूटनलाच ते बॉडी काय झाली, डिफॉर्म झाली. मग त्यावेळी आपण सांगू शकतो की स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ बॉडी इज लेस. दॅट्स वाय the applied force and deformation value both are directly proportional to each other. If one value is increases, another is also increases. If one value decreases, another value is also decreases. Okay, so this is the basic definition of strength. Resistance to the deformation and resistance to the applied force. म्हणजे अप्लाय केलेला फोर्स जर त्या बॉडीनं सस्टेन केला आणि त्याच्यामुळे कुठल्याच प्रकारचं डिफॉर्मेशन झालं नाही, तर आपण म्हणू शकतो की स्ट्रेंथ इज हाय. ओके, सो दिस इज द बेसिक एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द मेकॅनिक्स वर्ल्ड, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड अँड द स्ट्रेंथ वर्ल्ड. ओके, नेक्स्ट. Now we have to discuss the definition of applied mechanics. What is the basic difference between the applied mechanics and the strength of material? What is the basic difference between applied mechanics and the strength of material? See, definition of applied mechanics I have written here. Study of external forces applied on a rigid body. This word is very, very important. Study of external forces applied on the rigid body. Here I will draw one figure. Initially, we'll understand the basic concept of applied mechanics. What definition indicates? Study of external force applied on rigid body. Initially, I will tell the basic explanation of external force. What is meant by the external force? The force which is applied externally or outside the body, that force is called as an external force. So you can see here one figure I have drawn. In that, this P amount of force is there. This P value I will consider as a 50 kilonewton. Okay, this 50 kilonewton force I have applied from external side. So this is the outside of body, correct? This is the outside face of this particular body. That's why this P will be considered as a external force applied on the body. Simple definition of the external force: the force which is applied externally on that particular body, that force will be considered as, or that force is called as a external force. The external force applied on rigid body. What is mean by the rigid body? Can anybody tell me? What?
Body.
Yes. Yes. What is rigid?
It is fixed.
It is fixed. Simple definition. Rigid means fixed. I will write word. Rigid means fixed. Now, if you look at to this particular figure, force is applied from the top side. Okay, force is applied from the top side, but the body is fixed or body is rigid from all the remaining three sides. Means left side. This is the left. This is right, and this is bottom. If you look at to the left side here, I have indicated that hatching lines means the body is totally fixed from the left side. Similarly, at the right side, again I have represented the hatching lines means body is fixed from the right side also, and also at the bottom side, again I have indicated the hatching lines means the body is fixed at the bottom side. Only external force is applied from the top side, as from the left side, right side, bottom side, the body is totally fixed. Therefore, this body is called as a rigid body. And if I am applying this 50 kilonewton force on this particular rigid body, whether deformation is taking place or not? Yes. For this particular rigid body, if 50 kilonewton force I am applying, but condition tells that the body is fixed from remaining three sides, it is totally rigid. Whether deformation is taking place or not?
Yes.
No.
Whether deformation is not taking place. Please see, I am explaining the concept of applied mechanics. Let us see. In applied mechanics, we are focusing on the rigid body only. Rigid means body is totally fixed. Rigid means body is totally fixed. On such rigid bodies, if I am applying the forces at that time, their deformation will be considered as a zero. डिफॉर्मेशन हे होत असतं. काही तर फोर्स काही पर्सेंट म्हणजे मग त्याचं 0.01 असेल, 0.01 mm, 0.0001 mm, असं काही तर डिफॉर्मेशन होत असतं. बट दॅट डिफॉर्मेशन व्हॅल्यू वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर इट ॲज अ निग्लिजिबल और वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर इट इक्वल टू zero, because one assumptions we have made in applied mechanics, what that assumptions? Body is totally rigid. Rigid means it is totally fixed from the all sides, and by taking the reference of this particular figure, the body is fixed from the left side, body is fixed from the right side, and body is fixed from the bottom side, and from another side the P amount of force is applied, but deformation is zero. If deformation is zero, then this body will be considered as a rigid body, and this concept we are studying in applied mechanics. If deformation is taking place, then also that deformation we are considering equal to zero. We have to assume that in the rigid body, zero deformation is taking place. And that concept you have studied in applied mechanics. So here in applied mechanics, we are not checking the strength of the material. The syllabus, if you remind the syllabus of applied mechanics and your strength of material, some concepts are common, stress strain calculation is common, but actual syllabus is totally different, because in applied mechanics we are focusing only on the rigid body. Rigid means the body is totally fixed. If body is totally fixed, no deformation is taking place, zero deformation is there, therefore that body will be considered as a rigid body. Therefore, the concept of the applied mechanics subjects will not be applicable for checking the strength of the material. That's why here I have shown how the rigid body is there. Now, exactly opposite. MOM, SOM, and AME. MOM means mechanics of material, SOM means strength of material, and AME means analysis of mechanical element. Again, here I have written the definition. Study of internal effects produced in the elastic body due to external forces. See, here at the bottom side, I will draw the figure. P force, I will consider Phi once again 50 kilonewton, same which we have considered for the applied mechanics. Here again, I will consider the 50 kilonewton. Okay. Now, why this body is elastic? That we have to understand. Okay. In applied mechanics, already it has been decided that by seeing left side, right side, and the bottom side, the body is totally fixed, means it is totally rigid. But what is the basic definition of the strength of material? Or which bodies we have to study in the strength of material? That is, see, study of internal effects produced in the elastic body. Now, what is meant by the elasticity? You know about the property of elasticity? Can anybody tell me what is the property elasticity? What is the basic definition of elasticity? This is the property of one material. Can anybody tell me what is the property? What is the basic definition of elasticity?
Come in the original form after the force.
Correct, correct. If I am applying some amount of force on any body, deformation is taking place. Okay. If I am applying some amount of force on body, deformation is taking place. Immediately, if I will release that force, that body comes to its original position. An example is rubber. If I will take the example of rubber, if we are applying the force on rubber, rubber length is increases. And if I will remove the force on that particular rubber, again that rubber comes to its original position. म्हणजे force apply केल्यानंतर deformation होते आणि force release केल्यानंतर तो रबर त्याच्या ओरिजिनल पोझिशनला येतोय and this represents the elasticity property. And that concept will be applicable in our actual subject, that is strength of material or the mechanics of material. So here I have written the definition: study of internal effects produced in the elastic body due to external force. Applied mechanics मध्ये पण आपण external force 50 kilonewton अप्लाय केलेला आहे. परत मी खालच्या बाजूला एक फिगर काढलेले आहे, एक रेक्टेंगल आहे. In that rectangle 50 kilonewton force is applied at the left side. It is also external. This is the left side of the body. You can see. This is the right side of the body. त्याच्यावर पण आपण 50 kilonewton चा हा external forces apply केलेला आहे. Okay. Due to this 50 kilonewton force, the deformation of body taking place. Here I have indicated dotted line. You can see the deformation of body taking place, which is indicated by the dotted line. Means due to the 50 kilonewton force, the body changes their original position, and that deformed position will be indicated by the dotted lines. And if I will release this 50 kilonewton force, again this body comes to its original position. Therefore, this body will be considered as a elastic body. ह्या बॉडी मध्ये लेफ्ट साइडला पण फिक्स्ड कंडिशन नाही, राइट साइडला पण फिक्स्ड कंडिशन नाही, टॉप साइडला पण फिक्स्ड कंडिशन नाही आणि बॉटम साइडला पण फिक्स्ड कंडिशन नाही. Means this body is totally elastic. And after application of external force, if deformation is taking place, then and then only that body will be the elastic body. जर अप्लाय केलेल्या फोर्स मुळे जर डिफॉर्मेशन होत असेल तरच आपण त्या बॉडीला इलास्टिक बॉडी म्हणू शकतो. जर तुम्ही किती जरी फोर्स अप्लाय केला आणि त्याचं झिरो डिफॉर्मेशन होत असेल, then we can say that body will be the rigid body. Then why we have to consider this elastic body in strength of material? Why we have to consider the elastic body in the strength of material? Why not rigid body? Because in order to check the strength of material, we have to calculate the stress value, we have to calculate the strain value, we have to calculate the deformation, we have to calculate the shear force, bending moment, bending stresses, shear stresses, slope, deflection. Calculating this value or developing this value means there is a actual changes in the body. फोर्स कधी इंड्यूस होणार आहे? जर त्या बॉडीचं डिफॉर्मेशन होत असेल तर. फोर्स हा कधी वाढणार आहे? जर त्या बॉडीवर अप्लाय झालेल्या फोर्सची व्हॅल्यू जर वाढत असेल तर. जर बॉडीवर फोर्स अप्लाय केलाय आणि त्याच्यामध्ये स्ट्रेसेस येत नसेल, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू चेक द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द मटेरियल. That's why we have to study or we have to consider the elastic body in mechanics of material the strength of material. That's why we are not considering the rigid body. Rigid means all values are 0, no deformation, not a single value is changing. Therefore, rigid body will not be considered as a part in the strength of material for checking the strength. जर आपल्याला स्ट्रेंथ चेक करायची असेल तर ती बॉडी ही तुमची इलास्टिक बॉडीच असली पाहिजे आणि त्या बॉडीवर फोर्स अप्लाय केल्यानंतर काही तर इंटरनल इफेक्ट्स त्या बॉडीमध्ये चेंज झाले पाहिजे. जर इंटरनल इफेक्ट चेंज झाले तरच बॉडी डिफॉर्म होते. जर त्याच्यामध्ये इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर चेंजेस झालं नाही तर त्या बॉडीचं डिफॉर्मेशन पण होणार नाही, त्या बॉडीमध्ये स्ट्रेस पण इंड्यूस होणार नाही, त्या बॉडीमध्ये स्ट्रेन पण इंड्यूस होणार, म्हणजे कुठलाच पॅरामीटर त्या बॉडीमध्ये इंड्यूस होणार नाही. जर हे पॅरामीटर सगळे झिरो होत असतील तर इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू चेक द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द मटेरियल. Therefore, in applied mechanics, you are considering the rigid body, and in strength of material or in mechanics of material, we are considering the elastic body. Means force applied, deformation taking place, force removed, body regained to its original position. Means I can say that that body will be the elastic body. जर ही कंडिशनच त्या बॉडी मध्ये येत नसेल तर डायरेक्टली that body can be shifted to the rigid condition. Therefore, in all the 8 chapters of the mechanics of material or the strength of material, whatever number of bodies, whatever the number of materials, whatever the number of components we are considering, all the components, all the bodies, all the materials will becomes under the category of elastic body. So this is the basic difference between the applied mechanics and the mechanics of material or the strength of material. In applied mechanics, rigid body, so deformation is totally 0. In strength of material, elastic body means it is possible to calculate each and every parameter due to the elasticity. So this is the basic difference between the applied mechanics and the strength of material or mechanics of material. Understood the basic difference between applied mechanics and SOM? Yes, anybody is having any problem, you can ask. Have you understood the things? You can send the replies in the chat box so we can go further. Have you understood what exactly we have to study in the strength of material?
Yes, sir.
What is the basic difference between applied mechanics and the strength of material?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so with this today we will stop here. The remaining part we will take in the next lecture.
Okay, sir.
Don't leave the meeting. I will take the attendance.